Sophie.
Mr. Bridgerton, do you need something?
No. I found it.
You hurt me. When do you stop to think about me?
Every moment of every day. I cannot love a maid. And yet, you have taken possession of me.
For beings from opposing worlds, the desire is not the problem, but the world itself.
You've convinced yourself that she is reason enough to risk everything.
The new Bridgerton Season 4 Part 2 trailer just dropped, and now Benedict and Sophie's love story is about to take the most devastating turn we have ever seen in this show, and honestly. That final shot in the trailer, where Sophie is being dragged away in chains while Benedict screams her name, I have watched it at least 20 times, and I am still not okay. The fairy tale we fell in love with in Part 1 is about to become a nightmare, and the stakes have never been higher. Every single frame of this trailer is packed with heartbreak, betrayal, and moments that will make you question if these two will ever actually get their happy ending. So let's break down every single detail from this trailer, because trust me, there is so much more happening than you think, and some of these hints are absolutely wild. Right from the very first second of the trailer, we are thrown back into the chaos that Part 1 left us with. The trailer opens with Sophie standing alone in the rain outside Bridgerton House, and you can see the devastation written all over her face. That moment when Benedict asked her to be his mistress is clearly still haunting her, and the way she is looking at the house, you can tell she is torn between her love for him and her dignity. The voiceover starts with Sophie saying something like, "I thought I knew what love was supposed to feel like," and immediately my heart sank, because you just know that pain in her voice is about to lead somewhere dark. Then we get quick flashes of Benedict searching for her, looking absolutely miserable, and it is clear that he regrets everything he said. But here is where things get interesting. We see him talking to his mother Violet, and from the way she is looking at him with such concern, it seems like he is finally opening up about his feelings. And maybe, just maybe, realizing that his offer to Sophie was not about protecting them, but about his own fear of breaking society's rules. Violet has always been the heart of this family, and watching her guide Benedict through this is going to be so emotional. Then the music shifts, and we are hit with one of the most beautiful scenes I have ever seen. Benedict is at the lake, and he spots Sophie painting. The way the camera focuses on his face as he watches her, you can see the exact moment he starts putting the pieces together. He notices her elegance, the way she holds herself, and most importantly, that necklace around her neck. That necklace is everything. It belonged to her mother, and it is the one piece of proof that Sophie is not just a maid, but someone with noble blood running through her veins. The way Benedict stares at it, you can practically see his mind racing as he starts to realize that maybe, just maybe, there is a way for them to be together after all. But of course, nothing is ever that simple in Bridgerton. The next set of shots show Benedict doing some serious investigating. We see him going through old documents, talking to people who knew Sophie's father, and slowly uncovering the truth about her past. And when he finally figures it out, the look of hope on his face is almost too much to handle. He rushes to find Sophie, and there is this intense moment where he tells her everything he has discovered. He tells her that she is noble, that she has an inheritance, and that they can be together without breaking any rules. For a brief second, you can see the relief and happiness in Sophie's eyes. But then everything falls apart. Because while Benedict was busy trying to save their love, Sophie's stepmother Aramenta was busy plotting her destruction. We get our first real look at just how evil this woman is in the trailer. There is a scene where she is talking to her daughters, and she says something chilling like, "That girl will not ruin everything I have built." And the way she says it, you know she is about to do something truly horrible, and she does. The next sequence of shots is absolutely devastating. We see Aramenta accusing Sophie of stealing jewelry from her home. We see authorities showing up at Bridgerton House and demanding to speak with Sophie. And then we see Sophie being arrested right in front of Benedict and his entire family. The look of shock and helplessness on Benedict's face as they drag her away is going to haunt me forever. He tries to stop them, but Violet holds him back, probably knowing that if he interferes now, he will only make things worse. And then we get that shot from the trailer that everyone is talking about. Sophie in chains, being taken to prison, and Benedict running after the carriage, screaming her name. I have never seen him look so broken, and the way his voice cracks when he yells for her, you can feel every ounce of his pain. This is not the charming, carefree Benedict we met in earlier seasons. This is a man who has finally found real love and is watching it being ripped away from him, and he is completely powerless to stop it. The trailer then shifts to show us what happens after Sophie is thrown in prison. And let me tell you, these scenes are going to destroy us. We see Sophie sitting alone in a cold, dark cell, and the contrast between this moment and the magical night at the masquerade ball is absolutely heartbreaking. She went from dancing in a beautiful silver gown under glittering chandeliers to being treated like a criminal, and the injustice of it all is overwhelming. There is a moment where she touches that necklace around her neck, the one her mother gave her, and you can see her holding on to it like it is the only thing keeping her together. Then we see Benedict absolutely falling apart. He is pacing back and forth in the Bridgerton drawing room, and he looks like he has not slept in days. Anthony tries to talk to him, but Benedict just brushes him off because nothing anyone says can fix this. The only person who seems to truly understand what he is going through is Violet. There is this powerful moment in the trailer where she sits down next to him and says something like, "Love is worth fighting for, even when the world tells you it is impossible." And you can see the determination building in Benedict's eyes. This is the moment he decides he is not going to let society or Aramenta or anyone else keep him away from Sophie. He is going to fight for her no matter what it takes. And fight, he does. The next part of the trailer shows Benedict and Violet working together to prove Sophie's innocence. And watching this mother and son team up is going to be so incredibly satisfying. We see them gathering evidence, talking to witnesses, and slowly building a case against Aramenta. There is a scene where Benedict confronts Aramenta directly, and the tension is so thick you could cut it with a knife. He tells her that he knows what she did and that he is going to expose her lies to everyone. But Aramenta just smirks at him, like she has already won, and says something like, "You really think anyone will believe a maid over me?" The arrogance in her voice is infuriating, but you can also see a tiny flicker of fear in her eyes, because she knows Benedict is not going to back down. Then we get what might be the most important scene in the entire trailer. Benedict discovers proof of Sophie's inheritance. We see him holding documents that show Sophie's father left her money and property, and that she is legally entitled to everything. This changes everything because it means Sophie is not just noble by blood, she is noble by law, and Aramenta has been stealing from her this entire time. The moment Benedict realizes this, you can see the fire in his eyes. He finally has the weapon he needs to destroy Aramenta and save Sophie. But getting Sophie out of prison is not going to be easy. The trailer shows us glimpses of a courtroom scene, and it looks absolutely intense. We see Sophie standing trial, with Aramenta sitting there looking smug and confident. We see Benedict presenting his evidence and the shocked reactions from everyone in the room, as the truth starts to come out. And then there is this moment where Sophie's eyes meet Benedict's across the courtroom, and even without words, you can feel the love and trust between them. She knows he is fighting for her, and that no matter what happens, he will never give up on her. The music swells, and we see Aramenta's face as she realizes her lies are being exposed. Her daughters look horrified, and the people who once respected her are now looking at her with disgust. There is a shot of her trying to defend herself, but her voice is shaking, and you can tell she knows it is over. And then we get to see justice finally being served. The trailer gives us quick flashes of what happens next. Aramenta being exposed as a liar and a thief. Sophie being released from prison. Benedict running to her and pulling her into his arms. The way they hold each other in that moment, like they never want to let go, is going to make everyone watching cry. After everything they have been through, after all the pain and heartbreak and obstacles, they are finally together, and nothing can separate them anymore. But the trailer is not done surprising us yet, because once Sophie is free and her name is cleared, we get to see the truly magical part of their story unfold. There is this beautiful sequence where Benedict takes Sophie back to his cottage, the same place where they spent those fairy tale days together before everything fell apart. But this time it is different. This time there are no secrets between them, no misunderstandings, and no society rules keeping them apart. We see them talking by the fireplace, and the way Benedict looks at her, you can tell he is never going to take her for granted again. He almost lost her, and that experience changed him completely. There is a moment in the trailer where he gets down on one knee, and even though we do not hear what he says, we do not need to, because the tears streaming down Sophie's face and the way she nods yes tells us everything. Benedict Bridgerton is finally proposing to the woman he loves, and this time, he is doing it right. No asking her to be his mistress, no half measures, just a man telling the woman he loves that he wants to spend the rest of his life with her. And the ring he gives her is absolutely stunning. It looks like it might have belonged to his father Edmund, because Violet is shown smiling through tears as she watches the proposal. And you just know she gave Benedict that ring to give to Sophie. The symbolism of that is so beautiful, because it shows that Sophie is not just accepted into the Bridgerton family, she is welcomed with open arms and treated like she has always belonged there. Then we get glimpses of wedding preparations, and oh my goodness, it looks like it is going to be the most beautiful wedding we have ever seen on this show. We see Sophie in a wedding dress that makes the silver gown from the masquerade look simple in comparison. It is elegant and romantic and so perfectly Sophie. We see the Bridgerton brothers joking around with Benedict and helping him get ready. We see Eloise and Francesca with Sophie, making sure every detail is perfect. And we see Violet overseeing everything with such joy on her face, because one of her children is finally getting married, and she could not be happier about who he chose. But here is where the trailer throws in something unexpected that has me absolutely buzzing with excitement. We also see another wedding being prepared at the same time. Violet's wedding to Lord Anderson. The trailer shows us this beautiful parallel between Benedict preparing to marry Sophie and Violet preparing to marry again after all these years. We see her in a stunning gown looking nervous but excited. We see Lord Anderson looking at her like she is the most precious thing in the world. And we see the Bridgerton children supporting their mother as she takes this huge step forward in her life. The idea that we might get to watch both weddings happen in the season finale is almost too much to handle. Two love stories that have been building up all season, finally getting their happy endings at the same time would be the most perfect way to close out part 2. And the trailer seems to confirm this with a shot of the entire Bridgerton family dressed up and walking into a church together. But of course, this is Bridgerton, and nothing ever goes completely smoothly. The trailer hints at some last-minute drama that is going to keep us on the edge of our seats right until the very end. There is a shot of someone arriving at the church looking panicked and out of breath. We cannot see who it is, but they are clearly bringing some kind of urgent news. Then we see Benedict and Sophie looking worried, and everyone starts whispering. Whatever this interruption is, it seems like it might threaten to ruin everything at the last possible moment. My theory is that it has something to do with Aramenta making one final attempt to destroy Sophie's happiness. But honestly, it could be anything. The trailer is deliberately vague about this part to keep us guessing, and it is working, because I cannot stop thinking about what that interruption could be. While Benedict and Sophie's story takes center stage in this trailer, we also get some incredibly exciting glimpses at what is happening with the other Bridgerton siblings, and trust me, these storylines are setting up some major things for future seasons. Let's start with Francesca, because her scenes in this trailer are absolutely fascinating and a little bit heartbreaking. We see her spending more time with her husband John and trying so hard to make their marriage work, but there is something in her eyes that shows she is struggling. There is a scene where they are in bed together, and the camera focuses on Francesca's face, and you can see that she is not fully present in the moment. She cares about John deeply, you can tell that much, but something is missing, and she knows it. Then we get our first real look at Michaela, John's cousin, and the chemistry between Francesca and Michaela is absolutely electric. There is this moment in the trailer where Michaela takes Francesca's hand to help her out of a carriage, and the way Francesca freezes and stares at their joined hands, you can see something awakening inside her. This is the moment she starts to realize that maybe the feeling she has been searching for, the feeling she has been trying so desperately to feel with John, are actually directed somewhere completely different. The trailer shows us several scenes of Francesca and Michaela spending time together, and every single one is charged with this unspoken tension. They go riding together, they have tea together, and in every scene you can see Francesca becoming more and more confused about what she is feeling. And Michaela seems to understand exactly what is happening, because there is a knowing look in her eyes whenever she watches Francesca. This storyline is going to be so important and so beautifully done, and I cannot wait to see how it unfolds. The trailer also hints at something tragic coming for John and Francesca, and anyone who has read the books knows what that means. There is a shot of Francesca crying and being comforted by Violet, and the devastation on her face suggests that she is about to experience a terrible loss. Losing John is going to change everything for Francesca, and it is going to set up one of the most interesting and groundbreaking love stories this show has ever told. Then we have Eloise, and her scenes in the trailer are much lighter but equally intriguing. We see her still being hilariously awkward around all the men who are interested in her, and she clearly has no idea what to do with all this attention. There is a funny moment where a man tries to compliment her, and she just stares at him blankly before walking away, and I absolutely love how much Eloise has not changed. She is still the same marriage-hating, society rule-breaking woman we fell in love with, but the trailer gives us a hint that her story is about to take an interesting turn. There is a shot of her sitting at a desk, writing a letter, and she looks genuinely happy, which is not something we see from Eloise very often when it comes to anything romance-related. This has to be the beginning of her pen-pal relationship that will eventually lead to her own love story. We do not see much about this yet, but the fact that it is being set up now means we will probably get the full story in Season 5, and I am already excited to see how marriage-hating Eloise ends up falling in love through letters. The trailer also shows us some sweet moments between the Bridgerton siblings just being a family. We see them all gathered together laughing and teasing each other. We see Anthony and Kate looking happy and in love. We see Colin and Penelope with their baby. And we see all of them supporting Benedict as he prepares for his wedding. These family moments are what make Bridgerton so special, because no matter what drama is happening, at the end of the day, these siblings love each other and will do anything to protect each other. As the trailer reaches its final moments, we are hit with a rapid-fire montage of scenes that are clearly meant to leave us desperate for more. We see Benedict and Sophie finally standing at the altar together, and the joy on their faces is absolutely radiant. We see them exchange vows, and the emotion in Benedict's voice, as he promises to love her forever, is going to have everyone in tears. We see their first kiss as husband and wife, and the entire room erupts in applause. And then we see them dancing together at the reception, and it mirrors that first dance they shared at the masquerade ball. But this time there are no masks, no secrets, and no obstacles between them. They are finally free to love each other openly and completely. But the trailer saves its biggest moment for last. Just when you think we have seen everything, we get a flash of Violet and Lord Anderson also getting married, and the parallel editing between the two weddings is absolutely beautiful. We see Benedict lifting Sophie's veil at the same time we see Lord Anderson lifting Violet's veil. We see both couples saying, "I do," and both couples kissing, and both couples being surrounded by people who love them and are genuinely happy for them. This moment represents something so powerful because it shows that love does not have an age limit or a time limit. Benedict and Sophie are just starting their journey together, while Violet is beginning a new chapter after years of being alone, and both love stories are equally valid and equally beautiful. Then the screen goes black, and we hear one final line that gives me chills every single time I watch it. We hear Sophie's voice saying, "Sometimes the most impossible love stories are the ones most worth fighting for." And then the Bridgerton logo appears with the release date. February 26th cannot come fast enough because I need to see how all of this plays out immediately. This trailer has given us so much to think about and analyze and get excited for. Benedict and Sophie's story went from a fairy tale to a nightmare and back to a fairy tale again, and watching them overcome every obstacle thrown at them is going to be so satisfying. The fact that we also get to see Violet find love again and get hints about Francesca's journey and Eloise's future makes this season feel so complete.